Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the SINAInnovations conference. I'd like to start out by saying a few words about what happened in the last couple of weeks at Mount Sinai. As many of you know, associated with the hurricane, Mount Sinai came to the fore among other major academic medical centers to do some amazing things to help save the lives of many New Yorkers. And at this point, I want to thank Mount Sinai staff, our students, nurses, faculty, really the Mount Sinai family for doing wonderful things that represent the best of Mount Sinai. If we can have an applause to acknowledge all of the Mount Sinai team. In many ways, it was the most stressful of weeks, but also the most inspiring in the history of Mount Sinai. This conference, I believe, reflects a watershed in the history of our medical school and our medical center. We are all about innovation. We are in the midst of implementing a $2.25 billion strategic plan between the medical school and the hospital on our network. And the ultimate goal of our plan is not necessarily more grants from NIH or wonderful publications in the top journals. The ultimate goal, the ultimate outcome that we are going to hold ourselves to is, did we discover better ways of preventing, diagnosing, and treating serious human disease? And in order to do that, we need to think out of the box. We need to be innovative. We need to recruit the best students and the best faculty and the best staff to work together as a team. During the next 3 days, we'll be talking about how to do that, learning from experts from other fields outside of medicine, as well as experts within our field. So I'm going to give a few remarks about where we are in this process in Mount Sinai. What's very important as part of the process is to create a culture of innovation and transformation, a culture where anything is possible. Sinai students and faculty must believe that they can change the future of biomedicine, science, and clinical medicine. And we are working to do that. Our medical and graduate school is very student-centered, and it is scientifically informed, and our students are very creative. Our clinical programs are patient-centered and are of the highest quality, and we're working very hard to be at the forefront in developing novel ways of delivering clinical care to those who need it the most. And our research is both incremental, which is important, but also is transformative. And as I mentioned, what needs to happen, and is happening literally day in and day out, is to make discoveries that improve our ability to prevent, diagnose, and treat human disease. Now, there are some role models for us. And as many of you know, what's happened in the Bay Area, particularly as it relates to the digital world, is a culture of innovation that can serve as a roadmap for us, and it's a culture that we can emulate. For those of you who are interested in this topic, I recommend a research piece done by Booz & Company, which studied what is it about the culture of the Bay Area that has led to such innovation. And one of the things that I found that was interesting is that when it comes to innovation, spending doesn't necessarily correlate with success. It's about creating a culture in which innovation is required. Here are some of the key findings from this study. Companies achieving high alignment on both innovation strategy and culture experienced a superior financial performance. The Bay Area companies have the highest proportion of their innovation agendas developed and communicated top-down in terms of leadership, but also from the bottom up in terms of their staff. They view continuous refreshment of their product and talent base as a critical advantage. And that's important for medical centers, medical schools, and hospitals like Mount Sinai. We need to continue to refresh our talent, to bring new people in who bring innovative new ideas that we may not have thought about. It also stems from a culture that values openness to new ideas. And many students who are here may know that I continue to ask them to challenge us, to challenge the faculty if we are being bounded too much by tradition. And we want a networked environment where people have ideas flow back and forth from unexpected directions. So in the Bay Area, the best innovators are those that combine the right strategies with the right set of capabilities and the right cultural support in terms of the environment to provide their customers, and in our case, our customers are our patients, and they need from us the kind of services, the kind of great medicine and new discoveries and cures that will change their life. So what are we doing now at Mount Sinai? I mentioned that we're in the midst of implementing a $2 billion plus strategic plan, and that involves investments in education, which is the wellspring of innovation, clinical care, and research. It's very important that we evaluate our performance, that we look deeply at how well we're doing with clear eyes, and so we have transparent evaluation of performance. It's incentive-based, both in compensation and other aspects of providing resources to be successful, and we must be financially disciplined. So these are some of the things that we are doing to align a culture of innovation with a mission of innovation. We've been recruiting world-class faculty, both in terms of education, research, and clinical missions. We're providing now education that is relevant to innovation. We're providing financial support for innovation. As many of you know, over the last several weeks, we've begun to open the Hess Center for Science and Medicine, which, along with other facilities at Mount Sinai, we provide state-of-the-art core facilities to do outstanding research. And we get support from internal and external collaborations. And all this comes together to reach our goal of creating a dynamic medical center that changes medicine. Leadership matters, and many of the leaders of Mount Sinai are in this room. To be disciplined and to be innovative is not a contradiction. In fact, it's required. During an environment that is unpredictable, and we've experienced that over the last couple of weeks, we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared for unexpected challenges. We need to set goals in terms of being disciplined, develop performance standards, even while we're being innovative, and to make informed decisions on how we invest. And to be able to change course quickly if required. And that's extremely important in a science-based environment like Mount Sinai, because science changes quickly, particularly now in the era of the genomic revolution. And we need to encourage creativity. This starts with our students, with our staff, our faculty, and ultimately with our leadership groups. We need to be very good in knowing where science is going to be as opposed to just where it is right now. That's what separates out good institutions from great institutions, to identify areas of opportunity before they become readily apparent. And we need to make strategic investments that facilitate success. In addition, we do need to be vigilant to recognize unexpected adverse events that can occur regularly. For example, with the hurricane, we are now looking at, were we ready in case we lost power and our generators didn't work? Would we have been able to protect our science, our research laboratories, our freezers, our laboratory animals, as well as, of course, our patients? We need to be prepared for the worst case scenarios, and we will be. And in some ways, it all comes down to this. This is a moment of great opportunity, probably more so than any in the history of biomedical science in terms of the new technologies that are now becoming available for biomedical research. Great deeds in life are born from moments of great opportunity. It is very important that we at Mount Sinai do not let these moments pass through our hands. And we need to be dreamers who make others' dreams come true. And in fact, our next speaker is such a person, Ivan Seidenberg. He was a dreamer, is a dreamer, and he made the dreams of many of us come true. It is my honor to introduce Ivan Seidenberg as one of our keynote speakers, an individual whose life and accomplishments embody innovation, teamwork, and entrepreneurship. Ivan is a Vietnam veteran who was wounded while serving our country. And he has mentioned to me that many of those experiences as a soldier and working with other soldiers set him on a path that he recalled those experiences many times as he became a leader in our culture. He began his career in 1966 as a cable splicer's assistant for New York Telephone. Through hard work, dedication, and we can be sure many great ideas, he was elevated to the position of Chief Executive Officer of NYNEX in 1995. It may be hard for us to fathom today, but at that time the internet hardly existed, and wireless telephone service was still in its infancy. But Ivan Seidenberg would change all that. Early on, he saw the potential in network technology, in fiber, in wireless broadband, and in a global internet. Through a series of strategic mergers and acquisitions, he would create and lead a company called Verizon, one of the outstanding brands in the world today. Building such a strong brand required more than just a good head for business. It required an appreciation of ideas that are totally out of the ordinary, an ability to assemble nimble teams around a common goal, and an in-depth knowledge of each business unit from the molecular level to systems interaction. Remind you of biomedical research? His focus and decisive action ultimately unleashed the potential of digital technology and completely changed the way and the frequency with which the world communicates, the way the world does business, and the way we interact with news. The platforms and devices that were born of Verizon have also transformed the way we in academic medicine can care for patients, investigate diseases and cures, and generate and analyze big data. These tools and technologies give scientists and physicians the potential to change medicine for the future. However, the change itself will come from your vision, the vision of Mount Sinai scientists and physicians and students in this room, and the teamwork that will come out of it and the entrepreneurial spirit. At every stage, Ivan Seidenberg's career exemplifies these simple facts. On behalf of Mount Sinai, I would like to thank you, Ivan, for participating in our inaugural SINAInnovations conference, and we look forward, very much look forward, to hearing your insights and lessons learned. Thank you.